What paperwork is needed for rental property lease renewals? Are you a landlord wondering what paperwork is essential for renewing a rental property lease? You're in the right spot. Let's break down the necessary documents to ensure a smooth renewal process. First off, you will need a formal lease renewal agreement or lease renewal form. This document is vital as it extends or modifies the original lease terms. It should clearly identify all parties involved, including the landlord and tenants, and include the property address. It is also important to reference the original lease details to avoid confusion about existing responsibilities. The lease renewal agreement can either renew the existing lease with the same terms or update specific terms, such as the rent amount or lease duration. Make sure it explicitly states that it continues the original lease and specifies the new lease period start date along with any changes made. Next, landlords typically send a notice of intent to renew or non-renew. This written notice informs tenants whether the lease will be renewed or not. It is best to send this notice within a legally required timeframe, which is often at least 30 days before the current lease expires. Updating tenant contact information is another important step. Confirming or updating these details helps ensure smooth communication throughout the renewal process. Don't forget that signatures from all parties are necessary. Both the landlord and all current tenants must sign the renewal agreement to make it legally binding. If there are any changes made to specific sections, initials may be required on those parts. If any lease terms are adjusted, such as a rent increase or new rules, these must be clearly documented in the renewal paperwork. This clarity helps avoid misunderstandings later on. From a practical standpoint, maintaining organized records of all lease renewals alongside the original leases is essential for legal compliance and future reference. Using templates or checklists can streamline the process and reduce errors. It is also important to distinguish between a lease renewal and a lease extension. A lease renewal involves creating a new contract with potentially updated terms, while a lease extension simply prolongs the original lease without changes. This distinction affects what paperwork is needed and what terms can be modified. In summary, the paperwork needed for lease renewals in rental properties includes a signed lease renewal agreement referencing the original lease, a renewal or non-renewal notice sent in advance, updated tenant information, and documentation of any changes to lease terms. These documents ensure clarity and legal compliance, making the continuation of tenancy smooth and straightforward.